Hi, movie show recaps here. Today I'm going to explain an action film called Baby Driver. Sit back and relax as you are about to watch movie show recaps.
A red automobile stops in front of a bank in Atlanta, Georgia. Buddy, Darling, and Griff, together with their getaway driver Baby, are inside. While Baby plays bell-bottoms, the bank robbers enter. The thieves return to the automobile a few seconds later. Baby leaves the scene in his car, tunes blasting loudly from his speakers. The police chase as Baby drifts the car and performs wild stunts to the beat of the music, but he always manages to stay one step ahead of the law enforcers. Two additional red automobiles are zipping by him on the highway as he drives along. Baby tricks the police and escapes while they're under the bridge, but he almost gets caught in an alley before Griff stops him. Just as Baby's song ends, he drives to a parking garage where he and the robbers switch cars and flee. Later, while listening to Harlem Shuffle by Bob and Earl, Baby takes a stroll to the coffee shop to grab some coffee for himself and the criminals. Doc, their boss, is meeting with them now. When Griff notices that Baby is always rocking out to tunes, he naturally wants to know why. Doc claims the tinnitus is the result of an accident he suffered as a child, and he listens to music to mask the constant humming. As much as Griff tries to scare Baby, the latter doesn't back down. The criminals separate, with Buddy warning Baby to ignore future calls from Doc. Baby is told to disregard that advice by Doc. The man Baby is staying with is named Joseph, and he is a paraplegic and a deaf. He has stashed his portion of the loot away in a secret location. Through their sign language exchange, Joseph learns that Baby is involved in some dubious dealings. When he's free, Baby takes audio from his consultations with Doc and reworks it into mixtapes. One of his tapes is titled Mom, and it sits in the center of a drawer full of others. Babe visits Bo's diner. He overhears the lovely young waitress, Debora, singing as she serves a customer. When she approaches to take his order, she sees Baby's recorder on the table. After a while of chit-chat, Baby finally asks Debora what song she's singing. At home, he later listens to the song, which is how Joseph learns that Baby has a girlfriend. For the next assignment, Doc brings Baby in. He then introduces Eddie No-Nose, JD, and Bats to Baby. An armored vehicle is their intended victim. Baby is listening to tunes while Doc describes the strategy. Baby's talents are initially called into question by Bats, yet he or she is able to paraphrase Doc's strategy exactly. Since Baby and Doc have a debt to pay off, this is Baby's final employment. The group congregates around the protected vehicle. Already, JD is causing problems by bringing in the wrong masks. Doc asked for Michael Myers masks from the Halloween movies, but JD brought in Mike Myers masks from the Austin Powers movies. While the three go rob the truck, Baby sits in the car listening to music. In the end, Bats kills the guard, and the three bandits scramble back to the car in a state of panic. Baby tries to escape but crashes into a Marine's truck. The Marine opens fire on the criminals, pinning Baby's car against the wall so he may escape. The Marine follows them onto the highway, where he ultimately traps them beneath a truck. While Bats has a clear shot at the Marine, Baby ducks away. When Baby loses control of his truck, he falls off the highway and separates from the Marine. The criminals give up in traffic and steal a car from a mother and her child. In the confusion, JD loses his shotgun. The group arrives at the garage and disperses to their vehicles. When Baby misses a shot, Bats asks if it was on purpose. Although Baby claims he doesn't lie, Bats is on to him. As punishment for Baby's emotional awareness, he points a gun at his head. Baby and Debora's relationship continues when he goes back to Bo's diner. They discuss the existence of songs with their names in them, such as Debora and Debora songs, and the prevalence of Baby songs. For his share of the money, Baby must travel to Doc's secret lair. Bats and Eddie are the only other people there. After that, Baby is instructed by Doc to get rid of the car that was transporting JD's body. Baby drives to the scrapyard in the old car and has a nostalgic flashback to his youth. As a singer himself, he shared a special bond with his mother. His dad was an alcoholic and an abuser, and they were killed in a car crash after an argument. The babe starts working as a pizza delivery guy. He can now begin seeing Debora in a social setting. Baby is approached, though, by Doc, who has continued to rely on him as a driver for heists. Baby is threatened by Doc, who says he could harm Debora. Youngster gives in grudgingly. In the end, he brings Debora home and the two share their first passionate kiss. The next heist that Doc plans to pull involves taking Baby to the post office. Rather than have Baby go in alone, he sends in his nephew Sam as a fig leaf. Sam does a reconnaissance mission so that Baby would have something to relay to document. After talking to a helpful teller, they head back to Doc's car so that Baby can fill him in on the heist's logistics. When Baby contacts Debora, she tells her that she wants to get in the car and leave town forever. The answer is yes, according to her. The next thing Baby knows, he's having a black and white fantasy in which Debora is waiting for him by a car. Doc recruits Buddy, Darling, and Bats as his crew, with Baby continuing to serve as the getaway driver, despite the fact that he has a strict policy against utilizing the same crew for multiple heists. As per Doc's directions, the group must visit the butcher, a local arms dealer, in order to purchase firearms. Baby stops at a convenience store on the way to meet the butcher, allowing Bats to rush in. Backseat kinkage between Buddy and Darling. Infuriated by Darling's comment that Bats gave her the side eye, Buddy asks whether she wants him to kill Bats before the heist, to which Darling replies, "Not yet." Bats then returns with a whole box of gum he has just taken. As planned, the group meets the butcher and his goons at a warehouse. The butcher displays his arsenal of weapons to the crew, which includes numerous firearms and even hand grenades. Bats deduces that the butcher and his henchmen are police after seeing the letters APD on the side of one of the weapons boxes. Bats shoots the butcher, starting a gunfight timed to button down Brass, Tequila. The crew eliminates most of the butcher's men, but Darling is wounded by gunfire. Bats tells Buddy and Darling that they were officers after they rebuke him for sparking the shootout. Man jumps up and makes a break for it, but he is shot by the thieves and Bats throws a grenade into his car for good measure. Bats tells Baby to stop at Bo's diner on the way back to Doc's. Because Baby is afraid for Debora's safety, Bats makes Baby go against her will. Debora sees them, but she recognizes Baby's frightened expression. She takes their order without letting anybody but Baby and her other friends in on the secret. Bats is still taking it from Buddy and Darling for what he done. Bats asks Baby whether he knows Debora as they pack up to depart. The answer is negative, he insists. Bats rises to his feet and reaches for his weapon, but Baby quickly seizes his hand to prevent any rash action. Following the departure of the team, Baby presents the bill to Debora along with a note reading, "Road trip 2 a.m., and a tip." The group is back at Doc's house. Something went wrong, he realizes. Although Doc was aware that the butcher and his men were police officers thanks to Bats' intel, he was not surprised to hear that they were in fact paid employees of the butchers. Bats tells a fib about who fired first, and Buddy and Darling support his claim. Baby grudgingly argues that the heist go as planned when Doc asks if it should or should not happen. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Baby tries to go to see Debora secretly, but he is followed out by Buddy and Bats. Bats knocks Baby out with the recorder in his mouth when they start to suspect him. At Doc's table, Baby comes to as Bats and Buddy remove all of Baby's tapes from his apartment. Bats claims he didn't damage Joseph, but he's using Joseph's wheelchair to go around. Baby plays the recording he recorded immediately following the initial heist to dispel Doc's suspicions that the tapes contain anything but music. And in the meantime, Debora is stuck in the waiting room for Baby. The following morning, the band of thieves strikes out for the post office to begin their theft. Buddy's mission is to kidnap Darling while Bats sneaks up behind them. While waiting for the bank to open, Baby runs into the teller he spoke with the day before. She greets him with a wave and a smile, but Baby shakes her head at her, seemingly as a warning. Shortly thereafter, the teller reappears, this time accompanied by a security guard. Just before the robbers return, he taps on Baby's window. Bats have killed the security man, and the authorities are on their way. Since Baby is reluctant to drive, the robbers force him to do so. When Bats points his shotgun at Baby, the latter slams on the throttle and drives straight into a vehicle whose side has a steel bar sticking out, impaling Bats. Little One, Bud, and Sweetheart all bolt in fear. In a scene set to focuses, the police give chase to Baby as she runs through the streets of the city. Baby tries to disguise himself and steals several vehicles. The police are closing extremely fast, and Baby runs into Buddy and Darling again. Away from the police, the couple tries to run with Baby. Darling fires shots at the police, who murder her in return fire. As Baby runs away, Buddy loses his cool and starts shooting at the police. The elderly woman's automobile is stolen, but he returns her wallet. She can't believe it. When Baby gets home, he finds Joseph unconscious on the floor, but he's fine. He scrapes together the cash he can find and places Joseph in a care facility. Baby tells Joseph he's sorry for not being able to keep his promise to protect him from harm. Baby takes off while the police are still on his trail. After hearing that Debora is at Bo's, Baby rushes there to find her, but he is met by Buddy, who is sitting behind the counter, revolver in hand. Baby, he claims, should pay for killing Darling, and he even threatens Debora if she doesn't. A police officer walks into the restaurant, but he has to use the loo. When Debora's coworker comes out to see how she is doing, Buddy is momentarily distracted, and Baby takes advantage by shooting him in the chest and taking Debora away. On the way to docks, they carjack 2 cigarette smokers and make off with the vehicle. When the officer comes to check on Buddy, he is immediately shot and killed by Buddy. Doc is ready to give up on Baby when Baby and Debora show up, but Baby begs him to stay and offers to give him the proceeds from the heist. Doc gives in and agrees to let Baby take the money so that he and Debora can get away. They exit the elevator to confront the butcher's armed men. Even though Doc is shot twice, he is still able to kill the 3 assailants. Then, Buddy drives up in a stolen police car, declaring that Queen's Brighton Rock is Baby's death anthem. As he pursues Baby and Debora, he accidentally runs over Doc twice. Baby attempts shooting at Buddy before trying to get him with another car. The car belonging to Buddy is thrown down several stories after Baby crashes it over the balcony. But Buddy escaped just in time and shot around Baby's ears, rendering him deaf. He approaches Debora, who is attempting to grab Buddy with a crowbar. After a moment of reflection, Baby draws his weapon and shoots Buddy in the leg, sending him down onto the burning vehicle, which explodes. In the morning, Debora is driving Baby far away while listening to the cassette of Baby's mom singing. When they look back, they notice that the police have set up a barricade, indicating that they have indeed apprehended Baby. Debora tries to escape away, but Baby chooses to surrender. Baby stands trial for his role in the robberies. Debora, Joseph, the postal clerk, and the woman whose car Baby stole all make statements. All of them consider Baby as a good kid who made some stupid decisions and never wanted to hurt anyone. The judge gives Baby a 25-year prison term with parole eligibility after only 5 years. Debora, having discovered Baby's true identity as Miles, sends him postcards while he is incarcerated. When Baby is released, they intend to travel to the destinations depicted on the cards. Then, in a dreamlike sequence, we see what appears to be Baby's daydream from earlier, in which Debora is waiting for him. The image then changes from black and white to color, revealing that it has been 5 years since Baby's incarceration and that he is now free. He approaches Debora and plants one on her. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing to our channel.
Thanks for watching. What was your favorite part of the movie? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more movie show recaps like this.